Casey Neistat is a YouTube vlogger that has been gaining a lot of popularity lately because of his great cinematography skills. A lot of people are wondering, what type of camera setup is he using to make his videos look so good? Well, I've looked into it and I'm gonna do a review of his setup, plus suggest some of my own modifications and my own little tweaks to it. So, put my glasses like Casey, here we go. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it's Wednesday, which means it's time to give you guys some YouTube tips, ideas, suggestions, advice, things like that, like we do every week here at Video Creators to help you grow your YouTube channels and your audiences. So the first thing we're gonna do is run through the whole camera setup, the gear, and then let's dig into some of the specifics about some of the things you need to know about how to best use this setup. The camera body that he uses is a Canon 70D, and the reason why I chose this one is because it has autofocus features built in, which are really nice for getting a good crisp, clear shot. So autofocusing here. The lens that he's using, this one actually is the Canon EFS 10 to 22 millimeter. Also the microphone at the top, this is called a Rode VideoMic Go, and it's not the one that he uses. He uses one a little bit more similar to this one because this one actually has it's battery powered and it gets a little bit better audio, and you can boost the signal that it's sending into the camera and things like that, and you can cut wind and stuff too. But the problem I was having with this one when I was using this mic is that sometimes, in fact, quite frequently, I would forget to turn it on. Or when I would turn it on, I'd have to carry around a 9-volt battery it uses, and then it would die on me or something like that. And so I would get these shots when I was vlogging. I've been vlogging with this camera actually for a few weeks now over at our family's vlogging channel, so that's what I'm basing all this on. And I would find that I would just forget to turn this microphone on. So this one isn't battery powered, and there's no on or off switch. It just plugs right into the port, the microphone port on the camera, and I love it so much better because the sound quality is still very good, still very directional, picks up what's in front of the front of the camera, in front of the microphone, and eliminates a lot of the background noise, which is awesome. But I don't have to worry about another battery and forgetting to turn it on and then having no audio at all. And then of course the tripod. This is the Joby tripod, and you can get different sizes. This is one for mobile. He has a bigger one than this, and it's nice because you can these legs are extremely flexible. You can wrap it around stuff. It makes it very portable to kind of, if you just want to get a quick time lapse like he does, you can just set the legs out and set it down, or you can do what he does and just put them like this, and this gives it like kind of like a selfie stick. It's very adjustable, very sturdy. I love this Joby tripod, and this is how he uses it, just like this. Kind of keeps his arm out of the shot a little bit too, rather than holding it up like this and then having this in the shot. And by the way, guys, the links to all of this stuff is in the description below this video here on YouTube. I highly recommend you pick up your gear at B&H Photo. That's where I get all of my stuff, mostly because, guys, like, they're super high professional. Like, if you have any questions at all, you can just call them. They'll help you decide what you really need for your project. And their prices they're either the lowest or they are the exact same price as the lowest price I can find anywhere on the internet, including Amazon or any other place like that. As far as a couple settings on the camera that I have found work best for vlogging, this is a touchscreen, so that is nice. So you could have this focus one. I found that the multi-point one tends to keep the most amount of things in focus while I'm shifting around. If I just want to focus just on my face and I know my face is going to be in the middle the whole time and not moving, I'll switch it to that one sometimes. Most of the time I use the Flex Zone multi-subject one there. As far as the audio is concerned, if you go into here, I found just leaving it at auto with this microphone works really well. As you can see, even though I'm standing behind it right now, it's still trying to picking up exactly the right levels, even though just because there's no other sound right now. But it does a fairly good job. Sometimes it will peak into red even on auto, but I haven't found it to be enough to switch it to manual, or you don't want to disable your audio, obviously. Also really important is if you have the autofocus method on the tracking one, and we went through these just a second. If you have it on tracking, if you want to have it automatically, you can enable this. It will automatically keep focusing on the faces that it detects, which is actually does a really good job at keeping the faces. But as it says, using an external microphone reduces the amount of lens noise that is recorded, and I have found that even with this external lens on top with the Rode, it still picks it up. So if I switch back to this, you can turn it on and off just by tapping this while you're recording, which makes it kind of nice, so you can use it when you want. But I've decided not to use that because it does get to be a little bit too much noise, so I just keep this disabled and I just keep this on Flex Zone. The cool part about using the flex zone though is that if you hold and you hit this button right here, this AF focus on, while you're doing it, you can hold it and while you're recording, and it doesn't give enough noise. See how it's focusing in these spots right here now. So if I was to put like my hand right here and then hold this, see how it'll focus over here on my hand. And you couldn't hear it, but I could probably hear it. I could hear it. The drive make the lens make its noise. And the other thing about this lens, you can see how wide it is. Let me zoom in on this one so you can see how much of the room this lens is actually picking up, this 10 to 22 millimeter that's on this one. So this is at 10, and if I was to zoom in, it gives you just enough, you know, you can go in about that far. That's at 22 millimeters now. And I like it because I found for vlogging, wide is really good. And this is a crop sensor, which means it's zoomed in a little bit more than you normally would have on like a full sensor one, but it's still really good. Just enough range where you could like zoom in, focus the eye on something that you want to draw attention to, but then zoom back and then to have just yourself in there in the whole room and have lots of empty space around you to pick up a lot of the environment. Another thing to consider with this is that it does weigh maybe, I would say maybe like 4 pounds or so, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're holding it out trying to talk to it for any amount of like period of time, it does start to get pretty heavy. And the other comment I would make is that vlogging with this, although you have a lot of flexibility, you get great sound quality, great image, you really do need to know how to use a DSLR camera. It's not something you can just like pick up like a point and shoot or a GoPro or your phone or something like that. I'm not Casey, I can't wear those when I'm on video. So you do need to know how to actually use a camera, like a lot of manual settings, in order to know how to use it to its full potential when you're vlogging with it. If you want to see the vlogs that I've shot on this camera and this lens and this microphone to hear how it all sounds and see a little bit more about it, I'll put a playlist, a link to a playlist in the description of this video that will contain all the vlogs that I've shot using this exact setup right here, so you can get a little bit more idea what it looks and sounds like. So while I do like vlogging on the GoPro Hero 4 Black, which is what I've been using because I can do 2K, 4K, it's got like time-lapse stuff built in, I can mount it anywhere, it's much less inconspicuous. The audio in here problem, I did a full review on vlogging with this on this one, which I'll link up around here. There are some problems with it. This definitely overcomes almost all those problems, but it has its other problems of its own, and that it's big, it's far more expensive than a GoPro, and it's a little less, you can't just like throw it in your bag and when you're traveling like you can with the GoPro. If you've been vlogging with a rig like this by any chance, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below what you've learned works best and what doesn't, and any tips, share those down there, and I will definitely look forward to learning from you guys. And the rest of you, if you're thinking about it, about vlogging with this, read what the tips other people are saying and other recommendations that you guys have found work really well for your vlogging setup as well. And if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every week I give you guys YouTube tips just to help you with your YouTube channels, grow your audience, and sometimes we do equipment reviews like this as well. So thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for some YouTube Q&A. See you then. Bye.